Welcome back to Rare Business. We now go to the big story. Harold Davis is the acting CEO of the JBDC, and he now joins us to talk about the value of services provided to the MSME sector between April 2024 and March 2025 and why more is needed. Good morning, Harold. Welcome.
Hi, good morning, Andrea. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I am well. Thank you. How are all done?
Yeah, man, good, sir. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. We're good.
Right,
we're good.
Okay. So, Harold, tell us about the financing that JBDC provides to MSMEs.
Well, JBDC itself doesn't provide finance. We provide access to we facilitate finance by preparing businesses and connecting financiers with businesses and that type of thing, of all types of financing, not only credit, but other types of financing as well, you know. So that number that you alluded to is one of our regular targets that we look to achieve, and we did well last year. We doubled the amount and so on. Okay. But more needs to be done. That's clear. And even for us for this year, we're setting a more ambitious target. But apart from that, though, the story is yes, that is cool and that is good and that type of thing, and kudos to the efforts of the team and the quality of the entrepreneurs' efforts as well. But I think the biggest story to me is the expanded access to finance that we need to be talking about, because access to finance is still a vexed issue for entrepreneurs. And as we highlighted in that article, it's a two-sided equation. You know, it is about the readiness of the entrepreneur and the preparedness of the entrepreneur. I mean, because that is still a challenge, and that is JBDC's core work, to make sure that the entrepreneurs are in fact prepared and ready for the right type of financing, and that alludes now to the other side of the coin, the appropriateness of the financial products that are available in the marketplace. Now, let me at the onset say that it is far better than it was 10, 15, 20 years ago. That is a fact. Most of our commercial facilities have a product that is designated for small businesses. You know, so that in and of itself is a good thing. That means that they are being looked at. The micro and small businesses are being a focus point for many of our private sector financiers, right? But the issue of appropriateness is not only about access. Access and availability is one thing, but appropriateness to the stage of business that the entrepreneur is important. Appropriateness to the industry that the entrepreneur is also in, because you still have gaps in the marketplace where certain types of finance and entrepreneurs find it harder to find appropriate products. I'm going to advocate for the creative industry. It is a little better, and of course, issues of structuring on the creative industry entrepreneur side as well is still the case. But the truth be told is that many of our financial products are more geared towards traditional sectors.
Correct. Yeah.
You know, and where there can be seen track record of payments and a consistent flow of funds and things of that nature. Creative industries, the entrepreneurs don't work in that way. They don't function in that kind of way. It's seasonal in many instances. It's different types of revenue flows and things of that nature. So like I say, the scene is getting better now, but it's just not there yet. And the other issue that I want to highlight is the early stage businesses. That again, no. Let me just say, I understand that financial institutions in the private sector are in business, so they have to look at the risk profile and things of that nature to make sure that they are making good products. But there is still a gap for early stage businesses financing, you know. And while the DBJ does do a good job in creating some products, but that's still not enough. We're challenging our private sector enterprises who are making oodles of profit to look at how it is that we can be innovative or more innovative in terms of coming up with financial products for all stages of businesses. Because these are the businesses that have long-term memory. And they'll remember that this is where I got the financing from. And in other words, that it's an investment in future business.
Yeah, man. Yes. But you know, Howard, if we look, you talk about innovation, and if we're really going to get that going, if we look at some of the large companies, Google and some of the others, these things started out, somebody invested because they saw a good idea. Before they even made a penny, they had no revenues, right? And somebody invested because they looked at the idea, they saw the future. But we don't have that. And so, you know, many of the bright minds say coming out of university with brilliant ideas, we see them in the projects, but there is nothing for that early stage to make these innovations become.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Andrea, you're spot on, because we are pushing innovation as a major solution for business sustainability and growth on our entrepreneurial ecosystem. And a lot of that innovation we're seeing coming from the university students, the guys who are trying different things, are looking on technology and digital technology and incorporating that in some fantastic ways. Ways that you and I and Ralston probably wouldn't readily think of. But these innovations they're
dead in the water, because one thing that we talk about, Sir Harry, we talk about everybody else need training, but we basically are afraid to tell the people in the private sector, the financial sector, the oligopolistic financial sector, that they need more training. They can make money from rent-seeking behavior, so they have no interest in training and innovating, and they are holding back the country.
Yeah, well, the truth be told is that, I mean, we have, as you know, over the years, developed partnerships with a number of financial institutions. Yeah. So the statement that you make is not across the board, generally speaking, and we have had really...
But the ones with the most money are the least innovative ones, we know that. Ones who control the sector.
Well, we want to advocate really that our financial institutions take another look. Look at innovation. Look at different types of financial products, blended financial products. Look at revenue financial products. Driven, for instance. You know what I mean? So that we our entrepreneurs stand a far better chance of long-term success. This is how we're going to transform the economy.
Correct.
This is how ultimately, because we're not short of innovation ideas. We're not short of creativity, I should say. We're not short of that. We're not short of entrepreneurial propensity in this country. What we fall short on is the conversion of that
into real businesses. Because of the bad behavior of the financial sector, it's not only us talk about them. God of Bank of Jamaica talk about them too.
Yeah. So we need definitely to. We are JBDC advocating for us to have a look, and we are here. We are here. Listen, the truth be told is that collateral is not the only risk mitigation.
Right.
And that's all they know about.
It's not the only risk mitigation measure. And while, like I said, keep on saying it has gotten better, but still, it's not whole scale, for us to be able to say, yeah, man, we're there in some of the more advanced economies. I'm not talking about size now. I'm talking about advanced.
The sophistication of the financial system.
Absolutely, you see all kinds of creative, innovative financial products. Because they get it. In order for us as an economy to move forward, you need to be able to fuel where the innovation is coming from, and that is with entrepreneurship.
Yeah, man. All right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Respect. Thank you so much. Have a great Tuesday.
Yeah, man.
Yes, man. You too, Harry. Yes.
Yeah, man.
Okay. That was Harold Davis, acting CEO of the JBDC, talking about the value of services provided to MSMEs, the MSME sector, during the period April 2024 to March 2025, and why more is needed.